kind of feel like I'm in your lap.
That's not a visual I was looking for.
I know, I wish we were a little further apart, but I guess we'll deal with it. Hey there, Jesse Moore, Pickett Street Properties.
Dennis Pierce, Pickett Street Properties.
We want to talk today about inventory. It is end of February in 2012, and inventory is super low right now.
It's crazy low. In fact, I think we actually have reached a point where we had talked about, what was it, 2008?
Yeah.
We were on a radio show. We talked about this with Howard Bono on his financial radio show. Mm-hmm. And at that point, we discussed the possibility that we might hit a point where inventory got to that level that we would have a situation where it was so low that quality inventory was in such high demand, we were seeing multiple offers even though prices weren't really going up.
Yeah, I mean, now that it is 2012, we're actually seeing inventory at its lowest level since 2006. Mm-hmm. And what that's inspiring is conditions similar to 2006, which was multiple offers on properties with only a week or two on market. And so how that affects short sales, if you're considering a short sale, is that inventory overall is low, not just, and we do kind of see this as three different markets. We have the short sale market, bank-owned market, and then what we call the equity or resale market.
Right.
And equity resale market is getting hit really hard because that's your traditional sale. Buyers are not having to wait for bank approval or anything like that. Those homes are more conventional. They have they're lived in and they're more appealing. And then you have bank-owned properties, which they can still be closed in 30 to 45 days, but there's not a lot of give from the bank as far as, and the condition is less than appealing.
Yeah, usually they're definitely the definition of distressed.
Yeah, and then you have short sales, and short sales can take some time. And the reality is that there's just not a lot to choose from. So if you have a good home's a good home, you know,
right,
irregardless of which category it falls into. And so if you have a good home and it's a short sale prospect, there's no reason we should not get an offer on that property in the first 30 days on market.
Right, and I think that's something to really think about if you're in a situation where the clock has been ticking on the potential for a foreclosure. You receive a notice of default. You're at a point where you've got to make some decisions. You should know that the market is different than it has been for the last couple of years.
Right, and even we work out at a gym in Snohomish every once in a while, and there we'll talk about the activity that we're seeing and how last week we sold 4 properties, and people don't expect that.
They're shocked by that.
Yeah. So what you really do need to know is that whatever your perception of the market is or has been for the last few years, the reality is that we're in a different time right now, and the reality is that we sell homes and we're seeing a very active market. And so do not let your fear of our market determine whether or not you decide to short sell your home. Realize that now is a great time to list your home, and as far as market activity goes. And the other thing to think about is that the Mortgage Debt Relief Act of 2007 does twilight at the end of this year. And so since it can take up to 6 months to close a short sale transaction, right, if you don't want to owe income tax to the IRS on any amount of debt that's forgiven, you need to close that transaction by the end of this year, unless the government decides to extend that program, which to this point they haven't done. Right. So anyway, that's our thoughts on the market inventory in the Puget Sound area for the first quarter of 2012.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.